How Queen Elizabeth I died. Life and reign, how powerful she was. The longest reigning monarch in British history, Queen Elizabeth II, passed away on September 8 at Balmoral Castle on her Scottish estate. She had held the throne since she was 25 years old and was now 96 years old. One of the most prosperous reigns in any modern monarchy comes to a close with her passing. Europe's rulers were overthrown, banished, or killed throughout the 20th century. Elizabeth grew born surrounded by royal ancestors who had fled their native nations during World War II and sought safety in England. But throughout her rule, the British monarchy flourished as well. She was equally as wildly popular as it remained. According to a recent UK poll, the Queen has a favorability rating of 75%. The popularity of the Queen is commonly cited by proponents of a British Republic as the reason why England is still a monarchy. The Australian Labour Party leader Neville Rand is quoted as saying, "The biggest problem we've got is the Queen." In his biography, Queen of Our Times, each one adores her. The Queen's popularity stems from a source that, given American politicians' tendency toward handshakes, may seem a little strange. She has been adored for decades, not because of her sparkling personality or impressive argumentative prowess, but rather because of her unwavering and superhuman capacity to reveal nothing at all. She recognizes the significance of her actions in a larger context. On April 21, 1926, Elizabeth was born. 3 months had passed since the invention of television. 3 years remained till the Great Depression in America. The Russian czars had perished just 8 years before. A highly charged coal miners' strike had royalists worried that the English Windsors would be the next to fall at the time Elizabeth was born. Elizabeth was the third in line to the throne at the time, making her an odd target for anyone's revolutionary zeal. She was the second son's eldest daughter, and her uncle Edward was the rightful heir to the crown. However, she appears to have grown up with a strong sense of responsibility, as well as a passion for order and economy. In her 1996 book Elizabeth, Sarah Bradford said that when she cried during her christening at Buckingham Palace, it would be the last time that Elizabeth ever made a public scene. According to Hardman, Elizabeth had a particular box where she would keep wrapping paper and ribbons for future use. She also kept a dustpan and brush, which were 2 of her favorite nursery toys. King George VI became king after Elizabeth's father, Edward, abdicated the crown in 1936. Elizabeth was suddenly the successor to the throne and a valuable ally in international negotiations. The bashful little princess found the transition challenging, but she applied her well-known work ethic to her new life, according to Hardman. Elizabeth's childhood nickname, Lilibet, was met by the British peer Alethea Fitzalan Howard at a cocktail party in 1941, and she expressed her admiration for her in her diary. "Like me, Lilibet finds talking tough, although she performed well," the author noted. Fitzalan Howard's notebook entry continues. She insisted on bringing the dogs in because she said they were the greatest savings to the conversation when it dropped. Elizabeth had already thought of her go-to-conversational tactic. Later in her reign, no one would ever hear the Queen say such a thing. Instead, she tended to chastise anyone who ever implied that any of her royal obligations may be boring. According to Hardman, the Queen was told by a former private secretary that the Commonwealth Auditors Association reception would be quite a boring one. The Queen instilled a feeling of discipline in the royal family, with her strict emphasis on the larger context and determination that her work is exciting because it is vital. Such concentration is required under the monarchy since the work never ends. Being a royal requires you to live your entire life in the public eye, not just for a few decades like Hollywood stars. Celebrities erupt and fizzle. In the palace papers, Brown states that the monarchy plays the long game. As long as it's obvious that the public is interested in you, there is no temporal limit on their interest in you. You are a member of the British royal family, Queen Mary once told a relative. According to the Queen, "We all enjoy working at hospitals, and we never get bored." Elizabeth's reserve was a logical outcome of this discipline. She was schooled, according to Brown, to erect inflexible, lifelong barriers around her private thoughts and feelings. Throughout her career, those hurdles would be quite useful. According to Brown, her refusal to ever grant a single interview during her rule only enhanced her mystique. The Queen has the instincts of a stage performer. The allure of Elizabeth was genuine. The Queen's evident talents as a performer have impressed many who have encountered her since the beginning of her reign. She performed stateliness, not appeal, which is noteworthy. When the UK was attempting to join the European Economic Community in 1971, Hardman quotes The Economist regarding the Queen's trip to France at that time. The Economist stated, "She remains a symbol in Europe in a way that the Britons barely appreciate." What is a symbol? The French foreign minister described democracy and stability as that very difficult mixture. Obama's comparison of the Queen to Mandela was made in 2016. He claimed that they were both leaders who have seen so much and whose lives span such important epochs that they see no need to pose or deal in what's trendy in the time. People who communicate with depth and wisdom, not in sound bites. They have little interest in surveys or fashions. It was stated more plainly by Danny Boyle, who also directed the Queen during her appearance at the opening ceremony of the 2012 London Olympics. The Queen, he claimed in the Palace Papers, has the instincts of a performer, since she is constantly on the stage. Being forgotten would be an achievement in and of itself for a queen whose reign saw multiple royal scandals. Elizabeth, though, was savior than that. The Queen's pristine reputation has given observers the freedom to imaginatively align her with whatever party they desire during the decade's bustle of royal weddings, rumors, and scandal. The Queen is a steadfast supporter of her grandson and his mixed-race wife in Prince Harry and Meghan Markle miniseries on Lifetime. Meanwhile, there is plenty of room for the anti-Meghan movement to identify her with the firms behind-the-scenes traditionalists who run the palace machinery. The author of The Crown and the Queen, Peter Morgan, imagined Elizabeth encountering each new controversy tense, conflicted, but ultimately endearing. The Queen is portrayed in the 2021 Diana biopic Spencer as a beguiling enigma, the one member of the royal family Diana seems to look up to, yet who is kept perpetually at a distance, adding to Diana's loneliness. That extraordinary ability she possesses to balance the monarchy's mystique. As Queen, Elizabeth played a unique role. Emperors or empresses were all of her 5 immediate predecessors. However, the British Empire had ended by the time Elizabeth came to the throne, making the idea of a British empress impossible. Instead, Elizabeth would oversee the empire's transition into the Commonwealth, a body in which she possessed a lot of symbolic power, but none at all in terms of actual political power, not that she had any elsewhere. It has been her responsibility to transfer sovereignty and abdicate authority while grinning and shaking hands, according to Hardman. She was initially intended to hand-pick prime ministers, determine when to dissolve parliament, and even oversee her country's theatrical productions while sailing the globe aboard a royal boat. No more. The Queen, according to Brown, was a master throughout her reign at the art of gracious retreats while somehow preserving the aura of sovereignty. The late British monarch passed away at Balmoral Castle in Balliter, Scotland, on September 8 at 3:10 p.m. UK time, 10:10 a.m. ET, according to a document released by National Records of Scotland on Thursday. Old age is given as the cause of death. Princess Anne, daughter of the Queen, has signed the paper. At age 96, Britain's king with the longest reign passed away quietly. A period of national mourning was initiated by her passing. On September 10, King Charles II was solemnly installed as the next monarch of the United Kingdom after his mother passed away. This is the end of today's video. Give your precious feedback in our comment section below. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos.